Hello friends, thanks for stopping by. Today is going to be my first concealer wear test review. I'm finding with age 3 areas that are really becoming, well, 4 areas that are really becoming a problem with makeup. And it is true what they say, when you age, less is more, but not everybody likes to wear a little bit of makeup. Some people like to go out the door with a gloss and a little bit of mascara on, and others like to do a little bit more. And then you have those who really enjoy the beauty of makeup and they want to wear full face. And I think that as women, we should be able to wear whatever we want. But with age, there are areas in the makeup department that become an issue, and that is concealer for me, foundation, my lip lines, and my pores are becoming a problem. So I want to find all the things that actually make me still look and feel my best. So that's why I decided, it's time to start exploring other products, because I have a ton of concealers, but they're not working for me anymore. So for today's video, Shiseido has a new concealer, and my store had just gotten the tester unit in. They were still unboxing it, so I got really lucky with this. But I thought I would tell you a little bit. I'm going to do it the same way I do my foundation reviews. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the product, then we're going to put it on, see how it looks, my first impression, and then I'm going to wear it throughout the day, snap a few pictures, and come back and tell you the final review after I've worn it at least 5 hours, okay? Or if it's gone into a hot mess at 3 hours, I'm coming back at 3 hours. But if it's still looking good, I'm going to wear it as long as I possibly can, okay? I will never wear something 24 hours because some of these things say they last 24 hours. Anyway, okay, so this is the Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Concealer. Shiseido does have a foundation that is new with this. I am wearing the Shiseido Synchro Glow foundation, but that is a totally different one from this line. So this is 5.8 mil. It is $31. It comes in 16 shades. They have light, mediums to tan. They run fair to dark. It says a Shiseido first-in concealer that refreshes nonstop with active force technology. Our long-wearing concealer helps resist heat, oil, humidity, and facial movement to maintain coverage that lasts 24 hours. It will brighten under eye fatigue and dullness for an instantly fresher look. Immediately diminishes the appearance of dark circles, spots, redness, and blemishes. It does not say wrinkles, ladies. And it says it's weightless, breathable, and blendable. It is medium to full coverage. It's natural lasting. It has a 24-hour stay true color, water resistant, humidity resistant, sweat resistant. That means menopause sweat too. Smudge proof, 8-hour shine control, because some people have a real problem with their under eyes being oily. It's dermatologist tested, won't clog pores, ophthalmologist tested, and it is for all skin types. And it says the active force technology is their exclusive complex that protects your flawless finish from the effects of sweat, oil, and facial movement. Responsive sensory technology adapts to skin condition, tone, and texture for truer illumination. Wild thyme extract helps provide antioxidant benefits. Protective polymer with anti-adhesive properties helps keep pollution from the skin. And it says Shiseido Smart Correcting Powder enhances skin surface texture and tone. So we are going to get busy on this. I already have my eye makeup on. Everything will be listed and linked below for you, and I have my foundation on. I am going to actually blend with my finger on one eye, and then the other eye I'm going to do a sponge, because that is my preferred application. If you are someone that likes to use a brush, you can go ahead and use a brush if that's what works for you. But today, because I think most people have a finger and most people have a sponge, that is what I'm going to use. So the container looks like this. You undo the top, and it has an applicator brush that looks like that. It's just a doe foot, but it actually has almost like an hourglass shape. And it says it's made so that you can do one swipe this way, or you can use the tip for precision. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself one swipe and see how that works. And the color is good, and the color that I am wearing is 203 light. It does come in 201 light, 202 light, 203 light. That's how they run, and the medium will be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my ring finger. Now, I have very strong, prominent veining on the side of my eyes, which I truly like to blur out. So we are going to go ahead and see how that works. And I take it right into the temple area. I would take it up to my temple area even if I didn't have the veins, because it helps to bring fullness back in that area because we lose volume there. So this is blending like a dream with my finger. Absolutely gorgeous blend. I'm going to go ahead and go right up into the inner corner to brighten that up. And I'm not really going to drag it down because I just don't do those kind of things. I actually probably could have used less. This is really, it's applying beautifully, but we don't know how it's going to wear. So now I'm just allowing the warmth of my fingers to really blend that down. It's important, I think, to really, really push the concealer and allow the warmth of your hand to really blend it down. So that is what it looks like underneath the eye. It really went on well, but we have to see how it wears. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, but we're going to use a sponge. So I'm just going to give it a swipe. That's actually probably too much. The consistency is nice. The brush allows it to go on really, really well. So I'm going to take the Sonja Kashuk sponge, which is damp, and I'm going to go ahead. You can see my veins here, how prominent they are. They run, these are really, really bad on this side. I have very strong vein here. I have veining all the way up through here. I have veining that runs in the hollows that with age seems to be getting worse. Oh well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and see how this works. I'm going to take it right up into the temple area. It's applying beautifully with the sponge. And it is actually covering really well. It is really, really pretty. Really pretty. Okay, so there is the sponge application. I think either or does a nice job, but I think the sponge actually does just a little bit better than the finger. So I am going to go ahead and set this side here. So I'm going to take the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder because it works really well with many of the concealers that I use. So I'm going to apply it with the damp sponge, and I'm just going to take some in the lid, and I'm going to shift it around so it distributes evenly in the top. And then I'm going to take the Sonja Kashuk, and I'm just going to pick up a light layer of that, not a lot. I'm going to make sure there are no creases, and believe it or not, there are no creases as of yet, which is a good sign. I'm going to go ahead and put the powder underneath just to set this so we can see how it wears with powder. And then the other side I'm going to leave alone, okay? And I did not use any eye primers or anything like that underneath my eye. So that is what it looks like. That's with the Charlotte Tilbury powder over it and by itself. So we are going to go ahead. I'm going to finish my makeup, and we're going to see how this holds up for the day. And like I said, I'm not going to powder this. And we're just going to go from there. All right, so I will be back in a little bit. It is about 8:30 in the morning. So I'm going to try to get some good pictures. And we'll be back in a couple of hours to see how it goes. All right, my friends, I am back with the finished look. My makeup is all on my face with the concealer on both sides. I did want to give you a little update before we go further into the day. I did go ahead and put the powder lightly under this eye, and there is no powder under this eye, okay? So right now, the side that has the Charlotte Tilbury powder has not started to crease yet. It is accentuating age slightly, which I will zoom in and let you see in a bit. And the side that has no powder definitely needs a powder because it's already creasing and looking like it is separating slightly. Now, it has a great feel to it, and it blended really well, and I think the color is fabulous. So we'll see what it looks like as we go further into our day. I'll be back. All right, friends, so I am back. It is the end of the day, and I have been wearing the concealer for a good almost 8 hours. So I wanted to give you a quick review on it. Remember, on this side, I am wearing powder over it, the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder, because I know how this plays with most of my concealers. It is the least aging of all of the powders I put underneath my eyes, and also I like the color of it. On this eye, I did not put any powder so that we can see how it wears without setting it, all right? So let's take a look-see. It's very comfortable on the skin. I don't feel it underneath my eyes. Sometimes you do, you just feel like, I gotta get this makeup off. I'm just so cakey feeling. I don't have that feeling here. So let's take a look at the eye that I set. Okay. Now, let's be realistic here. I have lines underneath my eyes. There is no concealer on this planet that is not going to accentuate the lines or at least gather in there. Some concealers are going to be better than others. So this is what we're trying to find out now. Which ones are going to be the best for us? So my under eyes are also not as dry as the rest of my face. They actually have a little bit more oil to them. So that being said, this side here, I used my finger to apply. And I then took the Beauty Blender and applied the Charlotte Tilbury powder in a very thin layer over the concealer. And I must say, it is very impressive. I would use this concealer again in this way. It really, I mean, I have lines, they're there, but it's not a hot mess underneath the eyes. So now let's take a look at the side that I did not set, and I will tell you this one here started to wear off. It actually has a cakiness to it, and it has a little bit of a wax look to it, and it has creased in the lines. So this is a concealer that, with using the powder that works best for you, because the powder that works best for you may not be the same powder that I'm using, but when you set this, it does not budge. It did do a very good job at concealing the green veins that I have along the sides of my face. And this can also be used for blemishes and all over the face. It doesn't need to be only used under the eye, but it did do a really good job. It actually did a really good job at covering up the darkness. And on this side, this vein here is very, very strong. You can see this one a little bit more, and it's very green, and it runs all the way to here, and then it crooks over to here, and it runs all the way up to here. But for the most part, it does camouflage it really well. It did not hold up well without, it really didn't. It is breaking apart underneath the eye. So I'd say 1 out of 5. On the right eye, I'd almost give it a 5. I really would, because it really did wear well. And like I said, I don't expect miracles because I have lines underneath my eyes. I think it's really unfair to have lines on your face and then blame it on the concealer. But we don't want that concealer to look like a hot mess like it does on this side. So if we can find it where it does work with another product, a light dusting of powder, then of course we're going to use it, because we don't want to walk around with dark circles underneath our eyes either. So let us know in the comments if you've tried it and how did it work for you. All right, my friends, so that's it for the concealer review. Let me know if you want me to continue to do concealer reviews. And if you have some that are in the back of your mind, you're wondering how they work, let me know, because I must have 50 concealers. I have all kinds of concealers. I have drugstore, middle of the road. I have maybe a couple of high-end, not too many. I don't spend a lot of money on concealers because I've been disappointed with some of the very expensive ones. I think some of the best ones are the drugstore. This one here, again, it is a $31 concealer, but I will say it's very concentrated, so a little goes a long way. And you can also use it on blemishes. All right, my friends, so if you haven't already subscribed, of course, I'd love to have you as an Ageless Beauty, so please subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you are made aware of all the videos that I am putting up. Until the next time, my friends, go out in the world and be happy, healthy, beautiful, and most of all, my friends, be lovable. It's a good thing to be. Be lovable, my friends. I love you all. Bisous.